The Otago University Students Association is a multi-million-dollar organisation which has been at the forefront of student representation in the city for more than 120 years. Fronting the organisation is no small task, considering its assets include a bookshop, magazine, radio station, multiple recreation facilities and a media advertising agency. At the helm of the 10-person executive committee from January next year is OUSA President-elect Ruby Sycamore-Smith. Ruby is with us this evening to tell us how she intends to tackle the job. Good evening.
Hi, how are you going?
Good, thank you. Now tell us a wee bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Ruby Sycamore-Smith, and at the moment I am a third-year student at Otago studying communications and marketing at the tail end of my degree, and it's going really well. And I'm also on the executive already as the welfare officer.
Now, what prompted you to go for the top job?
I've already been as the welfare officer, and I found that it was a really positive experience, and it was great to really interact with the students and kind of see already some of the projects that I've been working on kind of being implemented in OUSA and already starting to make a difference. So I wanted to kind of step up to the presidential role so that I could further that and get more of an involvement with the students and kind of meet their needs and the wants that they deserve.
What do you see as being the OUSA's priority during your presidency, and how will you address that?
My number one priority will still be the involvement with the students. OUSA already has done a really positive job, and I think it continues to each year. One of the big achievements already was having the largest voter turnout in a whole 10 years, so it's been a massive impact, and already I think getting that amount of students to vote in the OUSA elections can be a reflection of next year and the involvement that the students will have in this organisation.
Do you see that as being your biggest challenge next year, or is something else looming?
Yes, I definitely think that's going to be one of the biggest challenges. Also with the national elections, I think that'll be good because we'll be able to hopefully campaign to the students so that they can get the rights that they deserve and hopefully again encourage them to vote on a more national level.
Are there any changes to the way that things are run or to the OUSA University of Otago relationship that you'd like to see implemented?
I think the relationship with the university and OUSA already is really positive. I think working with Harleen, the Vice-Chancellor, I've met her a few times and I can see that she does have the same kind of vision that OUSA has and the fact of putting the students' welfare first. I think that the relationship will continue to grow next year, but I also think that it is important that OUSA remains an association that will always stand up for the voice of the students.
The student drinking culture is always something that's brought to the forefront after particularly big events. Have you got any thoughts on addressing some of the negative issues around that?
I think that the drinking culture in Dunedin is a drinking culture that is reflected on students, but not necessarily in Dunedin. I think that it's more of a national issue. I think regardless of whether you're studying in Auckland or Wellington, students are still going to be behaving like that. But I think one of the beautiful things about Dunedin and about OUSA is that we're able to create drinking in Dunedin to be a lot safer. It's quite a small community, and we have Campus Watch and we have Student Health where they have counsellors that are able to support the students on various emotional needs that they have. We're able to give them the support that they need. And I think that one of the things next year will be about increasing the funding for various clubs and societies and faculties. And it's about kind of making sure that the students have other avenues to kind of investigate in and to make new friends. And it's not necessarily about partying on Saturday night, but it might be about joining like the hunting and fishing club.
Now, you've spoken in favour of a university bar on campus as well. Are you working towards the establishment of that facility?
I think that a student bar on campus would be really positive. I think that it would be beneficial to have some of the younger students who are 18, 19 to be drinking on a bar that's closer to home. It means that they're not necessarily having to venture all the way into the Octagon. I think that having younger students in the Octagon does kind of ruin the atmosphere of it as a whole, and I think that sometimes it actually ruins the environment for the Dunedin citizens as well. So I think by kind of bringing the students closer to campus, easy to have the support by Campus Watch, easier to go home, and easier to just be with their friends. And also it discourages this preloading in flats and encourages them to, venture into their bar, because ultimately at the end of the day it could potentially be their bar. They're going to want to be there and hanging out with their friends in the sunshine, like it was sunny today.
Our USA President-elect Ruby Sycamore-Smith, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.